We are on the cusp of a historic trade agreement. That's how the European Commission's President Ursula von der Leyen has described the long-awaited India-European Union FTA or Free Trade Agreement, signaling that negotiations are now nearing the finish line. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland, Ursula von der Leyen called the proposed pact the quote-unquote mother of all deals, one that could create a market of 2 billion people, accounting for almost a quarter of global GDP. While she acknowledged that some work remains, she made it clear that momentum is building rapidly. Crucially, she also announced that she will travel to India next weekend, immediately after Davos, underlining the political push to conclude the agreement.
And right after Davos, the next weekend, I will travel to India. There's still work to do, but we are on the cusp of a historic trade agreement. Indeed, some call it the mother of all deals. One that would create a market of 2 billion people, accounting for almost a quarter of global GDP. And crucially, that would provide a first-mover advantage for Europe with one of the world's fastest growing and most dynamic continents.
Let's now tell you why this deal matters so much. The India-EU Free Trade Agreement or FTA has been over 17 years in the making. Talks began back in the year 2007 under what was then called the Broad-Based Trade and Investment Agreement. But negotiations stalled by the year 2013 over disputes on tariffs, market access, intellectual property, labor standards, and environmental rules. After nearly a decade-long pause, talks were revived in the year 2022, driven by shifting global trade dynamics, supply chain disruptions, and growing protectionism. By early 2025, both sides accelerated negotiations, aiming to seal the deal amidst volatile global trade policies. Today, the EU is India's largest trading partner in goods. In the financial year 2024-25, India exported nearly $76 billion worth of goods to the European Union, while imports stood at about $61 billion. Now, what does India stand to gain? Well, for India, the agreement could be a major boost to labor-intensive industries like textiles, garments, leather goods, and marine products, sectors that currently face EU tariffs ranging from 2 to 12%. Reducing or eliminating these duties would significantly improve competitiveness. High-value sectors like pharmaceuticals, chemicals, and engineering goods are expected to benefit from streamlined regulatory approvals and aligned standards, opening smoother access for Indian generics and specialty products. Importantly, India is not expected to compromise on sensitive areas like agriculture and dairy, maintaining long-standing protections for domestic Indian farmers. The deal also assumes significance as Indian exporters face higher tariffs in the US now, offering Europe as a vital alternative market. However, a key issue still under negotiation is the EU's Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, or CBAM, a carbon tax that could hit Indian steel, aluminium, and cement exports from the year 2026. Now, whether India secures exemptions or carve-outs remains unresolved. So what does the EU get? Well, for the European Union, the deal opens doors to one of the world's fastest growing major economies. European wines and spirits currently facing import duties of 150 to 200% are likely to become more affordable in India. Premium European automobiles which now attract tariffs of over 100%, could also see easier market access. Beyond consumer goods, EU exporters of machinery, electronics, chemicals, medical devices, and industrial equipment stand to gain. High-value services, including IT, engineering, telecom, and business services, are also expected to benefit from clearer trade rules. The agreement is also likely to unlock European investments in India's manufacturing, green energy, and digital infrastructure sectors. Placing the India deal in a broader context, EU chief Ursula von der Leyen said Europe remains committed to global engagement, declaring, and I quote, "Europe will always choose the world, and the world is ready to choose Europe." If finalized as expected, the India-EU Free Trade Agreement would rank among the largest and most consequential trade deals in modern history, reshaping economic ties between two of the world's most important markets and signaling a major realignment in global trade.